Hey y'all, how you doing? It's quite late, so I need to talk quiet, so I hope you can hear me. If at any point you can't hear something that I say and would like it clarified, just send me a message and I'd be happy to fill in those blanks for you. I would love it if this was like story time video, but it's not. I'm so tired, but this is really eating at me. One of the two things that I find most difficult to talk about, to discuss personally anyway, is abuse. And so trigger warning, if you are made to feel uncomfortable with any talk, any form of abuse, whether it's physical, verbal, emotional, gaslighting, anything that you would deem an abusive quality, just maybe don't watch this video. I don't want to trigger any anxiety or any bad or sad feelings for you. So, and I hate the word trigger, but for a lack of a better term right now, I am feeling very triggered today. Something I want to touch on quick before I get into that. I swear it all ties in together. You know how we put certain people, I don't know, like above us or on pedestals, like unnecessary expectations because they're a celebrity or a political figure or royalty or even your parents, teachers, professors, people that you deem are above you because of their age, the experience, their knowledge, the type of profession they do. They're doing something that you dream of doing. They have a lot of money, billionaires, whatever it may be. I think just about every one of us out there probably puts at least one person up here. You know, we're like, I want that, or that person's amazing, they're so talented, why can't I be like that? Or that's what I'd aspire to be. And at the end of the day, they're just people, you know? We're all just people. Influencers, we can call them celebrities too, because social media platforms are very vast now. Vast for all types of venues, so... I really, you know, like, I enjoy social media for its really comedic aspects and watching people do talented makeup art and seeing tattoo ideas, hair, because I'm a hairstylist, colorful things, designers, fashion, and I really love comedy. I love shorts. I like that. The short skits are an option now for Instagram and YouTube, and it's just, I follow so many people that, you know, you're having a bad day, you just click on them, and but they're just people. And Jin Kid, he goes by Jin Kid. His name is Ali. I've followed him for a few years now because if you like Elder Scrolls like I do, particularly Skyrim, this guy, spot on Skyrim in real life. Skyrim in real life. With the legs and everything. Like lagging and glitchy and just the weird shit that you encounter with some of the NPCs and just the shit that it's just so good, so funny. I've seen so much of his stuff, and he was wanting to, you know, be an actor, comedian. He did impressions. He was doing shit, and then he had a TikTok account that he was actually accumulating a following on as well. And then in a jealous rage shot and killed his wife and her best friend because he assumed she was having an affair, because she had been trying to leave him for a while, because, spoiler alert, he was abusive for many, many years. His ego led him to murder his wife and leave their daughter parentless, because obviously he's in fucking prison. And while doing an interview, while awaiting trial, he cried while explaining how he's devastated he no longer has his TikTok, his social media, and he had been aspiring for a long time to do acting, and that he was getting there and talking to people, and he was going to move to LA. He was in talks with producers, and he was on his way. I made all these things happen. Like, I was this close, you know? Fuck you. No remorse for your daughter who's motherless and soon to be fatherless for whoever knows how long, if she even wants to have anything to do with him after. It makes me sick. And you look at these celebrities and influencers and whatever else, and you're like, that's a perfect life. Photoshopped, edited, interactions are spot on, they're funny, people are obviously have good chemistry. This world is crumbling. What are you gonna do? Are you just gonna fucking help it along, huh? Or do you want to actually fix shit? Do you want to start addressing these issues, talking about things more that should be brought up, like abuse, so that it's not so faux pas to talk about, so that people aren't so scared to feel ridiculed or not have their stories believed, or not know they have a safe place to go when shit hits the fan. Like, it may be very, very difficult to understand if you've never been in an abusive situation. You have two options. This is how I saw it. I had two options. Because this person, I'll just use one as an example to keep it easy, but I did not just have one abusive boyfriend. I've also had a couple abusive friends, but very abusive relationships. And it's just hard to talk about because it scares me. It's scary because it's like you're either reliving it or expecting that it'll happen again, wondering who's gonna hear and either think you're weak or think, like, maybe that's not true, or who are they talking about? Maybe somebody will assume it's not, like, all kinds of shit can get created. And I'm just tired of sitting idly by and letting abuse continue. And so be it if people get upset if I talk about it. It's my experience, not yours, so take whatever you want from it, and if you don't like it, bye. Like, it's not your experience. I don't want to just brush anyone off, but on the same note, it's not for you to debate about, it's not for you to judge. It's mine and mine alone, just like your experiences are yours alone, your traumas, your past. And this probably the scariest and most frustrating thing in my experience has been telling people and worrying that they're either not going to care, they'll just be like, it's not that bad, or they'll assume that I brought it upon myself, or that I'm lying. Because guess what? All of those fucking scenarios have happened for me. So that is why I kind of tied into the screen here. I'm not trying to attack anyone. I'm not saying that your opinions on things aren't valid. It's just my experience is what happened to me. If you don't want to hear it, just go. If you don't want to believe it, just go. It's not for you. It's fine. No hard feelings either way, I hope. But I felt in my experience in my relationship that I couldn't do any better, because I was in fact told by this person that just those words, they're like, you'd never do better than me. Nobody's gonna want you. Nobody's gonna like you. You're not as pretty as you used to be. Like, shit like that. Like, I would change my hairstyle, cut, change my color, get extensions. Didn't matter if it wasn't what he liked. I was not attractive to him. And he would let me know. Every time. You like, your hair looks stupid like that. Put extensions in, your hair is too short. Oh, you look so fake. Color your hair a different color. And guess what? I did all those things. Every time he told me to change something, I did it because I didn't have the confidence in myself. And because I thought he loved me. Because that was what love was to me. It was somebody that looks out for you, somebody that wants you to do better, to be better. Except he didn't want that. He wanted me to just be what he wanted for him and only him. I got to the point where I pretty near lost every friend that I had during that relationship. I feel like there's a lot to that story, so I won't get into that tonight. But they manipulate you so hard. I was manipulated so hard. To the point where I would need to stay at home with him. Or I was a shitty girlfriend. He would make me cancel plans with my friends when they were literally at my fucking door. At our door, because we lived together at this time. So it wasn't like I would just go and he wouldn't know. I couldn't go to a movie. I couldn't go for coffee with a girl from hair school. It was wild. And then gaslighting sits in. And they convince you of things that aren't necessarily real, aren't things that you see or you believe in yourself and others. And they whittle you down until you're so small. I gotta remember to quit directing this at you guys. I was just beaten down mentally to the point where I couldn't leave him because I wasn't gonna be good enough for anybody. I wasn't good enough for myself, let alone anyone else. I had lost most of my friends. People thought I was stupid. People thought I was crazy. I was convinced that I wasn't worthy of love, that what I had was what it was, and that's as good as it was gonna get, and whatever that looked like, because it sure wasn't love, but that's what I had. And when I finally started to realize that I couldn't live like this because I didn't want to be just alone with him, I was getting isolated from everybody else that I cared about. He got physical. He got physical. And it started with just like shoves here and there. or like grabbing my arm, you know, or like, I need to talk to you, yelling, swearing. And then it got then he would like throw me across the room, throw me over furniture. He would throw things at me. Because God forbid I make the same supper 2 nights in a row. Even though I asked him what he wanted, and he's like, I don't care, make whatever. Eats part of it and then slams the bowl on the counter and tells me to wash things because he didn't want the same thing 2 nights in a row. I was 19 at the time. So, do with that info whatever you will, but I didn't know a lot. That was my first time being away from home, living on my own. And then it got worse. And finally, after a night of him turning off the lights in the apartment and chasing me around and just saying kind of weird, creepy, threatening things, and me running, trying to run around the kitchen and the island to get to the door to turn the light back on, because it was an older apartment, so that light controlled kind of the general area. And when I turned around, he had a knife out and was holding it to my throat. I've always just tried to make light of situations like this, you know? Because how can that be real, you know? And you know what? That wasn't even the final straw. The final straw was when we had a couple kittens, and I claimed one as my own and named him, and he had the other one, the brother, and named him. And my kitten was safe, but when he was mad, he would grab that cat and throw it against the wall. And a whole extravaganza of shit happened. Me leaving, him begging me to come back, me working it out, him being abusive again, me leaving again, him begging me to come back, me giving in, writing him this huge apology, saying I loved him, Christmas no less, and him the next day, Boxing Day, still being in the city at our apartment, cheating on me with some girl on my couch, and making up all kinds of lies and gaslighting, and me still dealing with his shit until after 2 months, and he left me for one of my best friends, so that's cool. It's cool. And I hurt for a really long time. I'm talking like a couple years. I hurt. It took a long time to get over that. Not just the breakup and the devastation of, you know, being cheated on and my best friend being involved, but not really a good friend, hey? But also the fact that it's just like he still had a hold on me. He had this control over me. How I felt about other people, who I let into my life, who I trusted. And for many years following, I still felt like I was not good enough for people, not a good enough friend, not a good enough daughter, and that I was never gonna be worthy of love from a partner. There'd always be something wrong, you know? I wouldn't do something right. I would make food wrong. I wouldn't look pretty enough. Oh God, there's a few of those. I didn't even know where to start with those, honestly. I wish they could just all just come out of my mouth and stop and be gone, and I'd never have to think about them again. I had one guy cheat on me at my work at a bar, bring another girl there, cheat on her in front of me. And I couldn't figure out why. And then after a couple weeks of me not begging to come back to him because I was like, this is crazy, he's like, oh, I just thought you would try harder. It's like, you know why I was upset, right? And I was like, no. And it turned out, and this is pretty gross, so trigger warning if you don't want to hear any sexual stuff. It's not overtly sexual, but it is on the sexual nature. We were watching a movie at his place once, and he had gone to the bathroom, and I was watching TV, and I guess he had like come into like the entryway of the living room in his sweats, and he had his dick hanging out. And because I didn't notice, and because I didn't jump into action, he cheated on me. Now, if that's not his insecurity, I don't know what is. But for a while, I was like, oh wow, I fucked up. Many times, I fucked up. This is what Paige's brain thought. Over and over and over again. I fucked up. It's my fault this happened. Has to be. They told me it is. Said if this wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't have done this to you. Or, why did you do this? This changes how I feel about you. I hate talking about this shit. And I can't imagine you like it either. We gotta make it okay. We gotta make it so that people feel safe to talk about it. Because it's scary. And it fucking hurts, man. And I just want there to be more good in the world, you know? And I want people to have a place where they feel safe and welcome. I want you to know you're not alone. At the very least, you're not alone. I'm always here. I may not always be making videos, but I exist. I'm here for now. I'm living on this plane of existence in this crazy world. And my email is open for anybody who wants to reach out and comment on any videos, and when I see it, I'll respond. I'm here for you. I believe with all my heart that love exists for everybody, and that we don't have to live in constant pain and fear. We don't have to live in the fear of the future and what it holds because of the pain from our past. I know you can't be 100% rid of everything that's happened, you know, and your experiences, my experiences, have shaped me, and you know, I don't hate who I am. I'm still working on the love part, but I don't hate myself anymore, and I did for a really long time. I know I did. I told myself many times in the mirror that I hate myself and that I didn't deserve to be here. don't want any of you to ever go through that. This fucking sucks. And if you have, I'm so sorry. And I'm proud of you for being here. Abuse of any kind is not okay and should not be tolerated. Telling my friends what was happening, I thought it was a mistake. I thought it was a mistake because, you know, one of them didn't believe me, and a couple more just thought it wasn't that bad. And then the best is when people tell you, well, just leave then. It's easy, just leave. Why are you tell you that you're dumb or you're crazy for staying with them? When you were told constantly that you aren't good enough and that you will never do better than what you have. You tell me, let's do this right now. Let's weigh the scale. You got these two options, okay? I'm giving you two options. You're with somebody, and that person tells you either that you are never gonna do better than them, that this is what you have, that this is what it is, this is love, this is your life, you're never gonna do better. Or that if you leave them, nobody's ever gonna love you because you're not gonna be good enough for anyone. I'll give you a minute to think about it. What do you want to do? If you want to stay with somebody that is constantly trying to change you because you're not good enough, or risk leaving them because you want to be alone, because you're now convinced that nobody is ever going to want you because you are not worthy of shit from anyone else, and have lost most of the people you cared about in your life, so you really feel alone. Feel isolated either way. But you know, there's that saying that you can be alone and not feel lonely. And I really have felt that in the last few years, times when I've just taken me time. I have felt more lonely, surrounded with hundreds of people, surrounded by groups, going to friends get-togethers, being in situations where maybe the vibes were good, but I didn't feel comfortable or maybe welcome, and certainly not in abusive relationships. It can be so lonely, and you're not alone. It's you. Actually, you know what? I challenge you to think about what it really means to be with yourself, to think about all that you are, that you love, not just about you, but what you believe you to be, what you could be, what you enjoy, things that like motivate you, the people that do care about you, that you know care about you. There is love. There's love for you, and there's love for me. Think about what that means to you. What does love mean to you? And that being alone with yourself, know that that in many ways is enough. I'm not saying it's something you need to do for all eternity, for the rest of your existence on this plane, but to just really sit with yourself and get to know yourself Not like what people say you are, what they assume you are, the person they, like expect you to be. I've spent fucking years. Sorry if I jumble my words, you guys, I'm really tired. I've spent fucking years and years, like living up or doing whatever I thought was living up to other people's expectations, and whilst also letting other people down, because you can't be up here without being down here in other people's levels, So the thing is, the beauty of being alone with yourself and realizing that you aren't lonely. You're just like, that's cool. Like, that's me. That is who I fucking am and who I want to be and who I want others to see me as. And if they don't, fuck them. When you get to that point, which I'm getting there, it's definitely work in progress. When you get to that point where you kind of start realizing that, like, these people see you this way and these people see you this way, and like, nobody's ever gonna be all fucking happy. You can't make everybody happy. You can't. You cannot. I promise you. You can't go into a group of 100 people and everybody's gonna fucking love you. Some people are gonna be jealous, envious. Some people are gonna hate the way you are, and some people are gonna be like, I love that energy, it's amazing. And that's okay. That's fine. Whatever. You don't have to try to impress anyone. You don't have to improve things about you if it's not you. If you watched my last little video, quite a contrast to this one. You're rad, man. You're rad. You're loved. And you do cool shit when you're doing your shit. Bottom line, you just gotta look inside and you gotta find your own happiness in you. And it can look like a lot of different things to a lot of different people. That doesn't matter. And it's uncomfortable. I will tell you that. Holy shit. Sitting with your thoughts and trying to, dissolve maybe perceptions others have had of you, or maybe misconceptions you've had about yourself. Shit's awkward. And it kind of makes you want to gag a little bit. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Kind of made me feel that way. Kind of made me sick sometimes. Just going to therapy and having to sit and be asked questions that I'm like, I know the answer, but it's like you have this outer perspective always kind of imposing, you're like, oh, well, this is who I am. That's who I've always been. Or they say I'm good at this. And then the therapist is like, no, but you, Paige, what do you want? I'm like, well, I think, anyways, I can't even talk about that, because you know what's funny about that? Not funny, frustrating. Also funny in hindsight. I still, to this day, can't answer that question. I think about 3 years ago, I was first asked it by my therapist that, what do you see yourself as? Who are you? What do you want? Where do you want to be? I don't know. There's so many things that I thought I wanted to do, that I wanted to be. Now I just want to be alive, And that looks like a lot of things, so I'm pretty confused still, but I know that there's lots here to do. And I'll figure it out. One day. On my own time. And you will too. On your own time. Don't let people pressure you or rush you. Whatever you need to do. All the time you need to take. And also the nurturing you need to give to yourself. Anything that you need to do to figure out where you want to be, who you want to be. You take that time. We don't have a lot of time, you guys. It's funny, they say all we have is time. And we do, all we have is time until it's gone. And I want for all of you to have a very enjoyable, exciting, and long time, a long life, and feel joy and love, and be able to welcome it into your life without second guessing it or think that they don't deserve it. We're all a work in progress, you guys. We're all just, puzzles trying to find our pieces, and vice versa. There's some out there, there's some jigsaws that have got their shit figured out. You're just missing a couple, a couple of the right ones. And some of us, we might be little loners, but there's always gonna be there's always gonna be a stack for us too. We all belong somewhere. We do. I know it. I believe it. We all do. Oh man. This is a long video. Maybe this is why people edit their videos. I just want it to be real. I don't like seeing everything out there being falsified, photoshopped, editing out the raw parts because you're embarrassed or you don't want people to see who you really are. Do you think I want people to see exactly who I really am? Do you think I want you to be like, wow, she's fucking crazy, or she's weird, or I can't believe she said that or did that, or fucking terrified. Coming on here and talking is terrifying. But if I can connect with at least one of you, that's fucking amazing to me. And that brings joy to my life. I think I want to leave on that note. Please take care of yourselves, you guys. And definitely look inside and know that you can be alone and feel so full with the knowledge of who you are. And when you figure out who you ultimately want to become without any outside influence, cast that shit aside. You deserve it. Do what you believe you need to do. And I'll support you. I'm here. Reach out to me anytime. Anytime. Even if you want a joke. I'm not really good at them. If you're like, hey, I can tell you a joke. They're not even as good as sad jokes, but I'll figure something out. And yeah, take care. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. Like, I have no words. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you so much. And thank you for being here and for existing. You are needed. You matter. We all matter. Take care, and I'll be seeing you soon.